Hi, today we are going to see how to interface a real-time clock with 8051 microcontroller. What is a real-time clock? Real-time clock, it keeps on tracking the current time so that it must be powered with an unbroken battery supply, and it must be connected to an NTP server. What is NTP server? It is nothing but Network Time Protocol. Network Time Protocol, it is an internet protocol used to sync the clocks of computers to some time reference. An example of an RTC device is DS1307IC. This can be interfaced with 8051 using I2C bus. So we must aware while selecting any RTC device for interfacing. Some may support 2-wire serial interface, some may support 3-wire, some may 4-wire. That is, some devices, RTC devices, can be connected with a microprocessor and microcontroller only through I2C bus or USB bus or SPI bus. So we must be select the device carefully. Now let us see the features of DS1307 RTC device. It is an 8-pin IC. It can access a standalone time clock. This particular 8-pin IC is supported with SCL line and SDA line, which in turn connected with P2.5 and P2.6 of 8051 for interfacing. SCL, it is nothing but serial clock line, SCL, and SDA, it is serial data address, simply serial input or output line. This is used for communicating data and address between the RTC device and 8051 microcontroller. Based on the crystal frequency that is connected between X1 and X2, we can read or write, and we can display seconds, minutes, hours, date, day, month, week, year with leap year compensation. This particular RTC DS1307 is designed to show the time and date correctly up to 2100 year. It can operate either in 12 hours format or in 24 hours format with AM and PM facility. This particular 8-pin IC consists of 56 byte of RAM, battery backup, and also it consumes less power. And we are going to see the block diagram. This is the block diagram of RTC. It comprises of crystal oscillator, square wave output, power control. This will control the power so that the whole RTC device will consume less power. Serial bus interface. Through this only we can connect I2C bus for interfacing with 8051. It comprises of address registers, control logic, and the 56 byte of RAM. In this, there will be one master and slave devices. The master will address the slave devices through the address line A0, A1 and A2. Since there are 3 address lines, we can address 8 different slave devices through these lines. Let us see the registers of DS1307. There are 4 types of registers. Number 1 is command register, and format for addressing a device is a second register. The third resistor and fourth resistor, it is a control resistor 1 and control resistor 2, which can be also called as status resistor 1 and status resistor 2. The command resistor, it is an 8-bit resistor. Command resistor is an 8-bit resistor. The MSB is out, O-U-T, out. This particular bit, if it is 1, if suppose the MSB of command resistor is 1, then if out is equal to 1, it means this particular bit is 0 and this only going to control the level of output of the RTC device. Level of the output of the RTC device. I am repeating, if this particular bit is 1, then it means there is no standard square wave pulse and the output pin, it is going to generate a clock pulse and its frequency voltage will be controlled by this particular bit. And for setting the frequency, these two bits of LSB is used, RS1 and RS0. This will control the output frequency. This will control the output frequency of this output pin. If RS1 and RS0 is 1, then the frequency will be 32 kHz. If suppose RS1 and RS0 is 0, then the frequency will be 1 Hz. If suppose this SQWE, it is nothing but square wave enable. If it is 1, then it enables the oscillator output to generate the normal square wave pulse. This is the command register of DS1307. These bits are 0. It is standard 1. Addressing a device format. That is, we are going to address a device. For that, we are following this particular format. These 4 MSB bits are standard 1. This must be 1010. And these 3 are address line going to address the device or going to select a device. These 3 can address 8 different slave device. By selecting a device, we can read or write from the device. If it is 1, this particular LSB, if it is 1, then read operation will be performed. If it is 0, then write operation will be performed. Now we are going to see the control register 1 and control register 2. These two control registers are going to control RTC and interrupts. Okay. These two control registers are going to control RTC. Control register 1, it is going to control RTC, whether it must be operated in normal mode or clock test mode, whether it must every time on resetting RTC must be activate its power on mode or not. Like that, we are going to set the RTC device. We are going to control the RTC device using this control register 1. The MSB bit is test 1. If it is 1, then it will be operated in clock test mode. If it is 0, then it will be operated in normal mode. Then stop. If it is 1, then RTC will be stopped. If it is 0, then RTC starts. RTC begins work. Just see, this particular pin is used for power on. Activate while on every resetting. If it is 0, it won't activate on every reset, it will be inactivate. Then while coming for control register 2, it is also called as status register 2. These registers particularly concentrate more on interrupts, either interrupt active or interrupt inactive on every record time. If there is any alarm interrupt, if there is any timer interrupt, if there is any timer overflow, timer interrupt, timer overflow, alarm interrupt, this will be handled by this control register 2. This particular bit TI or TP, it is nothing but interrupt active on record time. Interrupt active or interrupt inactive. If it is 1, then interrupt active on record time or interrupt active on full operating time. AE, it is an alarm equal if the alarm matches or not. If it is 1, then it will match the alarms of RTC as well as the connected peripheral devices. If it is 0, then alarm will be mismatched. TE is timer overflow enable. If suppose timer gets overflow, then it must be provide the interrupt signal. If it is 0, it won't consider timer overflow. AIE, it is alarm interrupt active or enable. Alarm interrupt. If suppose alarm occurs, the interrupt will be AIE, alarm interrupt activator. If suppose any interrupt in the side of alarm, if there is a timer overflow and it must produce alarm signal, it will activate only if this particular bit will be 1. Only if the particular bit is 1. TIE, it is timer interrupt enable. If it is 1, then if there is any interrupt relevant with timer, then that will be denoted or that will be enabled. Now we are going to see a data format for reading and writing or transmitting or receiving. The data format is same for transmit as well as receive, except this particular bit, read or write. If it is 1, then we are going to read. If it is 0, we are going to write. What is read? What is write? Read means we are going to receive a data from the peripheral device. Write means we are going to transmit. We are going to write something on the peripheral device. So transmit data format starts with the bit start and ends with stop bit. In between we must represent the slave address. In that particular slave, what we are going to perform, either read or write. Since it is a transmit, we are going to transmit a data to the slave device. We are going to write data in the slave device. So this particular field must be 0 in case of transmitting a data. Then followed by the operation performed, we must mention the control register, that is nothing but command register. Command register address followed by control register 1, control register 2, then our data, 8-bit data. If you are going to transmit a data, this will be full priorly. With acknowledge and stop bit, we are going to transmit a data to this slave device. You are actually writing a data in slave device. This must be 0 for transmitting data. This particular will control the RTC and this particular field will control the interrupts. Similarly, for receiving data is also the same data format. Instead of 0 here, you are going to represent 1 for reading a data from the slave device in case of receiving data format. Now we are going to see what are all the steps involved in read a date and time from RTC device. For that, step 1, we must start I2C communication. Then we have to send DS1307 address and select write operation. Then send address of seconds register, for reading the second value. Then stop the communication. Again, send DS1307 address and select read operation. Now read seconds, minutes, hour, weekday, date, month, one by one, and send positive acknowledgement. Then read the year and send negative acknowledgement. Stop the communication. These are all the steps involved to read date and time from an RTC device. Now let's deal with how to interface an RTC DS1307 with 8051. The first figure is a simple interfacing diagram. Basically, we are going to interface the SCL line with P2.5 of 8051 and SDA line with P2.6 of 8051. These two are pull-up resistors and this is connected to plus 5 volts. Here X1 and X2 is connected with a crystal oscillator of frequency 22.75 kilohertz. Then B battery, it is supported with plus 5 volt power supply. This is a simple interfacing diagram. The practical setup. By considering the practical setup, 8051 can be interfaced with the RTC device DS1307. For alarm purpose, we can interface a buzzer to see time, date, week, day, month, year. For that, we are interfacing LCD display. This push button is to set up the alarm time. RPS power supply. It provides power supply for the whole setup. This is the practical setup of 8051 interfaced with DS1307.